Hello everyone, I'm just coming on here. Like I say, it seems to be like my station is my truck every time I can do a YouTube video, podcast, whatever you want to call it. So this is my thing for now, because this is the only time I ever get to actually sit down and do a video. Recently I've been talking to several people, viewers, about predestination and you know, if it's a thing or not. And several people I've spoken with that are near-death experiencers, you know, you kind of get a mixture of that. Some saying it's absolute, some saying it's not at all. The gentleman I spoke with the most would have been Howard. So his opinion on that, from what I remember him telling me, that there's no predestination, but there are pre-choices, I believe is how he termed it. Something like that anyways, meaning like we've decided before we come down here that we were going to have our certain parents, or we were going to have siblings, or we were going to be black or white, I guess is what he meant by that. I'm not putting words in his mouth, I'm just trying to recall exactly what he said to me. But other people I've spoken with said no, it would go against free will, which I don't really see how that would go against free will, because if you have a destination, like if you have a purpose on this planet, I believe that you have a free will to decide to go against that. For example, when Jesus Christ was in the Garden of Gethsemane, he asked God, or he requested that God would take the cup from him so that he wouldn't have to suffer and die on the cross the way that he did. His destiny was to do that. Predestination, I guess you'd call it. He knew what he was coming down to this planet to do, and he did it. But he, you know, being a human being as well, he probably had a lot of fear in his heart. You know, his disciples disowned him. Everybody he knew kind of, you know, threw him under the bus a bit. And because of that, you know, he was starting to feel overwhelmed, I guess is how I would say he felt. And but his destination was to do that. Like his destiny was to do that, to die on the cross, be crucified, suffer and die on the cross, but he was to be raised again on the third day. Now most people, well, I couldn't say most people, but myself, if I knew I had to go through a torturous death like that, but I was going to be, you know, back in my glory, or, you know, taken to glory, would I do it? I don't know, probably not, but thank God I don't have to do that. If it meant, you know, saving the rest of the world from sin and death, would I do it? Again, I'm not God, I'm not comparing myself to Jesus Christ, but for me, as the man I am, the man of Corioto, so to speak, I don't know how I would react to that, but I thank God that I didn't have to do it. Jesus Christ did it for me, and his predestination was to do that. I think he chose that before he came to the planet. Well, I know he chose that. It tells us that in Scripture. And but he said to God himself, God the Father, not my will be done, but yours. So he knew that he was going to have to follow the will of his Father, our Father, and he did it. So. But he also had the choice not to do it. He could have said, no, this is too much, I don't want to do that. Let's find another way. You know, you're an omnipotent God, there must be another way. So he decided to follow the will of the Father, which I think was great, because look what it has allowed myself, you, everybody else on this planet, a chance to be in eternity with God the Father. And that's a wonderful gift to have. I look around the planet that we have today, and I'm like, so many people, a lot of people, I don't know how many exactly, but majority of people don't see that gift. They're too focused on the world, and the world is going to hell. And you know, if you could just see Jesus Christ the way that I've come to see him, because I was a worldly man myself. But you know, ignorance is I guess ignorance is bliss. When you don't know any better, you can live in your sins, and you can do whatever you want. You know, you can go out and get drunk, you can go out and have sex with as many people as you want, you can watch pornography and do whatever you want to do, cheat on your wife, lie, cheat, steal, whatever you want to do. Do we predestine ourselves to do that? I don't think so. I think the enemy has a hold on us once we come into this planet. You know, we got guardian angels, but we also have guardian demons that try to take us away from the plan of God. So as far as plan and predestination goes, there could be an argument made for both of those, meaning, well, if you planned what you were going to do when you came to this planet, that's a predestination. But you know, I make plans. For example, I'm in my truck right now. I made plans to go to the dump and go to Kent Building Supplies. That was my destination today. I predestined myself to do that. I didn't know that I was going to have to stop and get gas. I didn't know I was going to have to jump out of my truck 5 or 6 times to load things up that they forgot to load up for me, or I forgot to load up. And I didn't realize I was going to have to take the long way home. I didn't realize there was going to be a fire drill at the building store that was going to hold me up for a bit. All those things happened, but I didn't realize that was going to happen. So that's the enemy, basically. Like, it's kind of a comparison, really. That's how the enemy does things. You got a predestination, you got a plan for yourself, but he's going to fire whatever he can in your way to take you off of that plan from Jesus Christ. So ultimately, yeah, there probably is predestiny. But again, I could be convinced otherwise if shown some critical thought analysis of that would make me say, okay, because I'm not 100% sure if there is or there isn't. And I don't know if we have the option to ever find that out here. I think theoretically you can come up with different hypotheses, theses, I guess. But ultimately, it's just opinion. You know, if you don't want to listen to somebody's opinion, and you go to the source of knowledge of everything that has been created, everybody who knows, or anybody who knows anything, is God Himself. Go to Him and ask Him that. He'll answer you. Again, like I alluded to in my last video, instant gratification is, I think, one of the biggest hindrances between building a relationship with Jesus Christ and just going along with the status quo. If you don't get what you want instantly, and I'm guilty of this, instantly you start, well, okay, He's not answering me right now, so then I guess maybe I'll try to find it somewhere else. That's the enemy. Avoid that. Say to God, okay, here's what I want to do. I want to know if there's a such thing as predestination. Why am I suicidal? Why am I homosexual? Why am I heterosexual? Why am I bisexual? Why am I transgender? Why am I whatever you might be? Why am I that way? I'd like to know, and God will answer you. He answers me in the craziest of ways, man. I can't even put it into words because I don't think I'd do Him justice with the way that He answers me. But it's never an audible voice. Not an audible voice that I can't see anyways. It's more of a voice that comes through other people, through certain scenarios that happen in my life. And sometimes I find it in different pages of the Bible, or other books even, or videos, or whatever. You do find the answers. But if you say, okay, God, clap, 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 let's go, answer me right now, or I'm not going to believe, but I really need to know, God's not typically going to answer you that way. Why doesn't He answer you that way? Because obviously you're an impatient person if you're doing that, and He's trying to teach you patience. Man, I can relate to that because I'm an impatient person myself. So for example, when I want something done, I want it done like yesterday. I don't want to have to wait till tomorrow. I want it done now. Like if recently I applied for a sheriff's job because I'm trying to go into law enforcement, and waiting for results of tests, waiting for results of interviews. That was like torture to me. I hate that. I'm checking my emails constantly. But, it taught me patience. It taught me understanding, I guess. And I say I guess because I still struggle with that. But to answer the question before it's asked, no, I didn't get the job. They told me that we do a psychological test. It's called an MMPI. And I guess I didn't have the personality that they wanted right at this point. And not that I could never get the job, but I think that my true character came through. And my true character, not that it's not good for many things, but to be in law enforcement, you have to be a certain personality. And if you're not that personality, they're not going to bring you in. Can you be that personality? Can you fake it till you make it sort of thing? Yeah, probably. And I probably could have done that. But, I tried to be genuine. Sometimes being genuine with things doesn't always work out in your favor, at least instantly, but it will work out in the end. So right now I'm just going to reset and go back to what I got to do. I'm in school right now studying criminology, minoring policing. So when I'm done with that will open up more doors for me. So I take it as a lesson. Before it used to depress me if I didn't get something I wanted instantly. But now I just take it as a lesson, and to my utter amazement, I actually wasn't that disappointed because not that I didn't think I couldn't get the job, I just felt like, okay, this is learning for me. This is the personality they want. This is the attitude they want. So go work on that, come back, and then be more prepared. So my problem was, I believe, is that I work at a homeless shelter, which you got to have the opposite attitude to work there than you do at a law enforcement. And I also work in construction. I run a construction business, so you have to have a different personality there. I am a family man, and you have to have a different personality there. At least that's what my wife tells me, or soon-to-be wife. But you know, ultimately you got to wear different hats every day. I just put on the wrong hat that day, I think. So I'm not disappointed. So my point is why I'm telling you is all that. So, you know, I'm a human being too, right? And I can relate to all that stuff. So when God doesn't answer you instantly, take it as a learning lesson, because he's teaching you patience. So when you ask, is there a such thing as predestination? Wait on the answer. That could be a minute, that could be an hour, that could be a day, a week, a month, a year, years even, before you get an answer. But you will get one, and believe it, and you will. So, you know, there's many other things I could say about that, but you know, I'm looking to do different topics for each videos that I do here, because as I mentioned, I'm just a guy, like probably most of you guys are, girls, that is just putting out some of the knowledge that I got from different people I spoke to over the years that are, you know, unable to come on the channel, or prefer not to come on the channel, but they give me some little, you know, nuggets of gold, and I like to pass that on to as many people as I can, because Howard and several other people told me that I'm a certain source that God's using for other people. Not to stroke my own ego here by any means, because I'm not looking for fame, fortune, recognition, anything like that, because I'm just a guy who's passing out some knowledge that I've garnered from other people, and hopefully it can help somebody. So anybody who has any questions for me, or if you, you know, you could reach Howard Storm. I keep pushing everybody to Howard Storm, because he's the man that's basically showed me, or taught me, or how to put it into words, maybe I wouldn't say taught me, but has educated me on many things. And I know a lot of you guys that are watching this want to talk about the devil and demons and Nephilim, the Book of Enoch, all that stuff. You know, we could talk about that. I only know so much about that sort of stuff. As far as the enemy goes, you know, I know him like anybody else knows him. Or them, I guess. There's more than one enemy, so them. But I don't focus too much of my time or energy on them, because what would be the point of that? Why wouldn't I dedicate that time to Jesus Christ and trying to build my relationship with him? Because when I shut my eyes for the final time, I'm going to stand in front of him too, just like you. And he's going to ask me why I deserve a spot in heaven. And if I say, well, because, you know, I made YouTube videos down on planet Earth, and I helped this person and that person, and all the, you know, all the trophies I gave myself, you should let me in then. It's not how it works. That's not grace. He's going to say to me, I believe he's going to say either depart from me or welcome to my kingdom. But I don't know if that's exactly how it would go. I don't know if I believe that fully. If he's going to say depart from me, I don't know if he's going to put me to the test. It's not going to be an interview when I get there. But I do believe it's going to be a life review, and then I'm going to say to God, do I deserve to go there? Or Jesus, or whoever's, you know, one and the same. Do I deserve to go there? I'll have to ask myself that then. If I was to stand there at this exact moment, I would like to hope that I would be able to go into heaven, be a part of that. I don't want to be a part of hell, but you know, I'm a little self-critical, obviously. I think a lot of us are. No, I don't think I deserve heaven right now. Honestly, I don't. But I think that, you know, Christ knows more than I do, and he knows my heart better than I do. And I think that if I stand in front of him, he's going to say to me, I don't know what he's going to say. I hope he says, come into heaven, you deserve it. You know, you've tried the best you could do. Might not have been an A+, but you certainly got a passable grade. You know, whatever that might be. So I'm hoping that happens, and I hope that happens for every single one of you who's watching this video right now. And you know, let's work on that. Work on our relationship with Christ. Let's not focus on the fundamentalist aspects of the, you know, the Bible. Don't drive your beliefs down other people's throat. It's going to repel them. It's going to do more damage than good. I know you think you're doing the right thing. You're not. You know, when you're driving it down people's throat, if you want to converse with people and ask them about various subjects, and they want to talk to you about Christ and stuff like that, that's different. That's probably planting a seed on somebody that might lead them to Christ, and that's a good thing. But when you condemn people before you even talk to them, or you tell them, unless you do this, because you're a homosexual, you're going to go to hell unless you stop having homosexual relationships. Well, then I'm going to hell. We just talked about if I'm going to go to hell or not. Then yes, I am, because I'm not married to the woman I'm living with, that I'm, laying down with. Sorry for being so vulgar or so direct about it, but it's just the truth. But no, that's not the truth. The truth is Christ knows our heart. I'm basically married to her. We've been together for 10 years. I don't cheat on her. She don't cheat on me that I'm aware of. I trust her though. And, we do everything else. So, that a married couple does. We plan on getting married. She's my fiance. I did propose to her. It's just, in Canada, it's a very difficult thing when you try to get married, because the Canadian government starts overtaxing you, basically tries to sink you, which I believe is a ploy of the enemy. So, that's where I'm at with that. I don't want to get into too much Canadian faults, because it's a good country. Ultimately, we have a great scenery, great people. Our leadership, not so much, but I think that's going to change at some point, and I hope it does. Sorry guys, I get these when I'm sitting in my truck. I always get, when I'm talking on video, something's always grabbing at the back of my neck. Like I told you, I have a demon around me that doesn't like when I'm talking on YouTube, to the point where I almost stopped doing it because it was becoming nightly, daily, and it always gets me back here on this side. It's a pain in the ass, but again, I don't fear it. I just takes my breath away when it happens, so just not expecting it. But anyways, any more questions? The reason why I talked about predestination is because one of the people I spoke with, can't quite remember the gentleman's name, I believe, or maybe it was a female, I'm not sure. We just talked through the comments from Brazil. They brought that to my attention, and I think that it's a wonderful question, because everybody wants to know, did we already plan this out? And if so, why do we have free will? So yeah, I think to answer that question, we do make a plan before we come down here, but we have a free will to follow that plan or not. And the enemy's certainly trying to take us away from God. Like he's been took himself away from God. Why wouldn't he take us away from God, or at least try to? Don't give him an inch. Don't give him a millisecond. Don't give him any time, none whatsoever. It's easier said than done. I do it myself. I do things I shouldn't do, and but the Holy Spirit, when He's with you, the Holy Spirit convicts you to the point where you realize, uh-oh, that was wrong. I better stop doing that, and ask God for forgiveness. We've talked about that, so God will forgive you. It's amazing how He forgives you. Like I'm a parent. I have 2 sons that are my biological sons, and I have 2 stepdaughters that are, they're not my actual daughters, but I've raised them for 10 years. Treat them like they're my own. Feel the same way about them as I do my own. So I guess it's there. But I'm a parent. I love them unconditionally. When I've often spoke to them, I said, if you guys were drowning in a pond or a lake or an ocean, whatever, without hesitation, with zero hesitation, I would dive in to save them, whether that meant I died or not. As long as I saved them, or at least attempted to, that's what I would do, because that's love. If I saw a stranger drowning, would I instantly jump in with no hesitation? Probably not. I don't think anybody would. I think I would try to save them the best I could. But am I going to give up my own life to save them? Well, I probably would, but I mean, hard to say. Notice how I threw a probably in there, because I don't know what I would do in that circumstance. But with my children, there wouldn't be any question. So that's love. That's human love. That's a connection that we have between one another. God has something that we don't have. It's called agape love, from what I was told by Howard, which is it's unfathomable. It's unfathomable. He created us. He gave us our life, and the love that He has for us, we can't understand it, because we love the way we love, but we can't love the way God loves. Because we can use the example of Christ dying on the cross to show His love to save the world, and use John 3:16 as the I guess the starting point for God so loved the world He gave His only begotten Son. That to me doesn't even touch the top of the iceberg. That's top of the iceberg, because it's unfathomable. I can't even put it into words. It just kind of chokes me up, actually. But I really appreciate the love He gives me. Hope you guys all appreciate the love He gives you. And don't waste any time. Live your life. Do the best you can. Follow your path, your purpose. We all have a destiny. So is it pre? Probably. I think it's a predestination. I just don't know really what else to say about it. Yes, I believe it is. If you want further, further knowledge on that, source it out. Go to the Bible. Go to different books. Go to different videos. Talk to people. Talk to God. That's where I would say go. Talk to God. But if you, you're talking to God, but you still want some more, you want, an answer right now, then go to the books, whichever books they may be. Go to the Bible, whichever books in the Bible they might be. Google things. I'm not trying to promote Google here, but ultimately that's where I go for a lot of my information, or talk to different people, like reach out to people like Howard. I did. I was just a guy who got saved, who decided one day, man, I want to talk to people that understand it, because I don't understand it. Why do I feel this way? Why did God decide to pick me out of the billions of people, trillions, well, I guess billions and billions of people in the history of the world? Why did he pick me to decide to save? I felt like I was a wretched human being because the stuff I've done. Again, I've never murdered anybody or like intentionally hurt anybody. Hurt myself more than I hurt other people, I think. But, I broke some hearts, some women. They broke mine too, but it doesn't, two wrongs don't make a right. So I broke some hearts. I've done some horrible things to women that I shouldn't have done as far as emotional damage goes. And God checked me on that. He said, because I did ask, I said, I don't want to be this way. I don't want to be a drunken loser. I don't want to treat women like they're just beneath me. They're just a sex object. I can go through as many as I can so I can notch up the old bedpost. But I don't think that way now. God checked me, man, and I'm very appreciative of that, because I was on my way to hell, and then when I'm in hell, it's too late. Maybe not. Again, I don't know how that goes. Howard Storm said he was in hell. He got pulled out. Was that predestined? I don't know. I think it probably was, but he kind of didn't really push that one on me too much. But I just kind of feel like, well, you're different. Well, no, I'm not, he says. So I don't know, but ultimately, I think God, he picked me because I did ask him. I asked him several times my entire life, really. I've been asking him, and when I was 36 years old, he did answer me. Well, at least in a way that I understood that he answered me, because he probably answered me multiple times before that, but because I was so stubborn, he decided, okay, I can't do indirect with this guy. I'm just going to go down and directly say to him, this is what you asked for, this is what you're going to get. And I got it, and man, what a life change. Whew. Takes my breath away sometimes when I think about what he done for me. So he can do it for you too. But don't play games with God. Don't be like, unless you do this for me, I'm not going to do this for you. Just say, I'd really like for this to happen. Your will be done, not mine. The end. And then, read, talk to him, dig deeper and see what happens. Man, I'm rambling now, but I hope that helps anybody. And any more topics you want to talk about that you feel like I can maybe shed some light on it, let me know, and I'll do the best I can. Okay? God bless you all.